Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler every series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of reviewing these because I want to eat them. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. But that's not the case today, actually. In fact, I bought these last week. I distinctly recall because I went over there and I went to review some food from a Turkish place, which I haven't uploaded those videos at the time I'm doing this, but they'll probably be uploaded by then. Go watch those videos. And it's a really cool little sort of, I don't even know if you could call it a shopping area, strip mall. I don't know what to call it. But there's like a cool Turkish place to eat food. There's a couple of Mexican restaurants. There's Dairy Queen. Whole bunch of neat little stuff. And they also happen to have a Mexican supermarket there. And I love Mexican supermarkets. You can find some of the coolest stuff, some of the nicest people. The cashier was insanely gorgeous. Like, I'm just tossing that out there. I'm not trying to be weird or anything. Just, you appreciate a beautiful lady. But it's also a great spot for me to go over there and find stuff to review because, you find cool international stuff that you typically don't get here in the U.S. So, when I saw these, what is it, folks? What am I reviewing for you today? It's Boom! They're from Diana or Diana, I don't know. D-I-A-N-A, Diana? I'm going with Diana. These are BACORNS. Yes! They're a barbecue bacon flavored snack. I had to review these if for no other reason than they're called BACORNS. That's just kind of brilliant and amazing, and it reminds me of an old series of sort of web animations called Waterman. And in one of said animations, they had these things called BACONs. And if you're in the know, you know. But these are BACORNS, and boy, oh boy, do I appreciate that. So let's get a thing for the thing here. Can we make it look okay? Maybe. Something like that. Ha 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 ha! Let's give it a go. Oh, it has a little thing. Since 1951, families have preferred Dinah's quality due to a unique portfolio of salty and sweet snacks. BACORNS are baked, crunchy puff snacks seasoned with our trademark barbecue flavor. Combination is amazing. Apparently. But yeah, they're like little pillowy things. Okay. The texture, they remind me of cheese balls. Like those little cheese balls you can get, they're kind of like a puffy Cheeto. You bite into them. They're very pillowy, They got a crunch to them, but like there's not a lot of like actual structure. That's what they remind me of texture-wise. Flavor-wise, they're kind of okay. Honestly. I don't dislike them, but I'm not loving them the way I was hoping. For one thing, I was expecting more of a barbecue and more of a bacon flavor. Like, there's a little bit of a barbecue flavor, to be sure. It kind of gives a little extra zing. But it's not like a strong barbecue flavor. Not even like, you think barbecue potato chips. I would say these have less barbecue flavor than that. And the bacon flavor, let's see if we can find it. know, man. Not really getting much in the way of bacon flavor either. Like, there's kind of like an overall... There's like a little bit of a smokiness to the whole thing, and I don't know, I'm guessing that's kind of where they're like trying to shoehorn in the idea of bacon and barbecue, but I don't know that they're selling me on it. Yeah. They're kind of just very okay tasting corn snacks that... The thing is, with this type of product, again, think sort of like puffy Cheetos. That is a structure that if you want it to work and to work well, you really have to push whatever flavor you're trying to get, because otherwise it doesn't hold properly, it doesn't just have enough to work off of. And I feel like that's the case with these. Like, I don't mind how they're put together. I think like I said, the texture and everything, the structure of it's nice. But I don't feel like really the wallop of flavor is there. Even the corn flavor is like, I would say that, they're not as like corn tasting as something like Fritos. Like, I can kind of see what they're going for. And like, it almost reaches that point, but it just doesn't get over the hump, It doesn't do enough of any of the things that you want it to do. It doesn't have enough corn flavor, doesn't have enough barbecue flavor, definitely doesn't have enough bacon flavor. And instead, it kind of reaches this point, and it looks like, okay, maybe it's going to get there, and then it just gives up, And it just comes back down to earth, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess, It's not a bad experience, but it's not, nowhere near as good as I was hoping. Especially with the naming convention, I really enjoyed that. Still think that's clever. 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get him again? Would I recommend him? No, and sadly, not really. These are one of those things where I want to believe in the product. I like the naming of it. I love the idea of the flavors involved. But... And maybe this is just, my goofy-ass American palate, because, of course, here in America, we amp up the flavor of all of our shit with salt and this, that, and the other thing. But I wanted more from this. I wanted to be able to go over there and have a nice, smoky barbecue flavor with, some nice hints of salty, delicious, savory bacon. Like, those are all things that you can make happen. There is no doubt in my mind that they can make that happen because we've had it in other treats, right? This just isn't it. It's an interesting idea, but in terms of the actual presentation of it, it's not a bad thing, but again, it's nothing I personally need to get back to. Now, if they change up the formula, I'm just saying, if I'm recommending it though, no. I don't think they're bad, but it's just, I don't feel like they deliver on what they promise, and I just, whether that's my personal palate or, what have you, it's like, that's ultimately what I have to work off of, and I just feel like they're underwhelming, they're not a bad thing, if you got them for free or something like that, sure, but I don't remember what I paid for them, but I don't think I would pay it again, and I don't think I would recommend other people play it again, especially when there's so many other snacks, especially at, a Mexican supermarket, that you can get that are going to be way more impressive. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there and have themselves a truly BACORNS-tastic rest of your life. Because, again, it's all about the Waterman. If you're interested we'll get into that. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, any of you old enough to remember Newgrounds? I think Newgrounds is still around, right? But yeah, Newgrounds was this like, video sharing service. Not quite like YouTube. It was more about like, animations and, things that people made. A lot of times in Flash Player. And yeah, man, that's where I got into Waterman. Really awesome. Really, I still think it holds up rather well today. I mean, it's a little bit primitive by today's standards, but really funny series. The episodes are available on YouTube. If you look up Waterman or Waterman Studios. Interesting fun fact, the late, great Leslie Nielsen, the last project that he was working on was the Waterman movie. They were going to do a full-length feature, well, I don't know if it was going to be, but full-length, movie, and they actually got Leslie Nielsen to be on board with it. And he ended up passing away, while they were doing that whole thing. And unfortunately, the movie just, never came out. But some of it is available, like the Leslie Nielsen scenes are available to watch. So I highly recommend Waterman. I want to see Waterman come back. It almost was a thing. It was almost on like the Fox network. And it got bumped for American Dad. Oh, really? American Dad. Anyway, bye.